Hey, what's up guys? I'm Truthful Christian.
Oh, wait, him again. I'll need a pine cone.
And today we're going to talk about the Big Bang Theory. You know, a lot of you people on YouTube believe in the Big Bang Theory.
Actually, no we don't. We don't believe in the Big Bang Theory. We accept it as the best model we currently have to fit observations. Where we have hard evidence from reality, you see, belief is superfluous and irrelevant. Where we don't have hard evidence from reality, belief is ridiculous. Either way, belief is entirely without utility. Nice try, no cigar.
But I'm just going to say this now. I don't believe in the Big Bang Theory.
Which of course is fine. You're welcome to believe what you like. Only thing you need to remember is, reality doesn't care what you think or believe, or don't believe. Reality just is. And the Big Bang is, as far as we can tell, a fact. It's the best fit for the observational data. Now, it may well be that as we go back in time and we track the universe's expansion, there are factors we haven't considered yet. That's always a possibility. But at the moment, the Big Bang Theory is the best fit for the observational data. And that's all there is to it. It doesn't really matter what you believe.
I think that the Big Bang is just pseudo-scientific garbage. Trash.
Except, of course, for the bit about it being in accord with observational reality and matching the observational data. See, that makes it inherently scientific, so how can you call it pseudo-scientific? Pulling things out of your arse is unscientific, you know, such as the sixth-day creation, which was dreamt up in a time when we were absolutely ignorant of just about everything that there was. And you want to call the Big Bang Theory pseudo-scientific trash? Really?
It's just a theory.
Oh dear, just a theory, eh? Well, it's interesting this, because I know for a fact you've been schooled on this point countless times. In science, a theory isn't just a guess. It's an explanatory framework dealing with a class of facts of specific interest. And since you have been schooled on this before, either you can't take a fact in, or you're lying. Which one is it?
Now, you atheists, you guys need to distinguish between a fact, a law, and a theory. There are three scientific levels which you can deal with. You have, first of all, you have theory, which is the weakest, and then you have law, and then you have fact.
Thank you for playing. You just demonstrated your utter ignorance of anything to do with science. Things don't graduate from fact to law to theory. These are three completely different entities. They're not qualitatively the same. A fact is something that is true, something that has been observed to occur. A law is a mathematical description of that fact and how it operates. And a theory is an overarching framework that tries to explain all the facts and laws in a specific area of interest. Now, I know you've been schooled on this point, so are you just lying, or can you not absorb information at all?
A theory would be, for example, the theory of evolution. It's just a collection of myths and ideas. It's not science at all.
Except, of course, and at the risk of repeating myself, that you've forgotten the bit about it being in accord with observational reality. Bit of a stumbling block for you, that.
And then you have the law, such as the law of gravity, the law of conservation, the law of entropy. Alright? Laws are required for the universe to function.
No, sorry. Laws aren't required for the universe to function. Laws are our mathematical formulations of how the universe operates. That's it. There's no more than that. Oh, and incidentally, the law of entropy is actually an experimental law. It may not hold in all cases. This is one of those things that comes under the problem of induction. Might want to think about that.
God, obviously.
Obviously, you say? God, you say? If God is so obvious, how come he's never turned up in 300 years of scientific study? I wonder.
As it says in the Bible.
Ah, the Babel, eh? Suddenly I see the source of your malfunction.
Created the universe, and the universe has to abide by the laws.
Nope, I can see that you're still not getting it. The universe operates. It operates the way it does. The laws of the universe are our mathematical formulation of how those operations take place. There's nothing that says that the universe has to operate that way. That's just the way it does operate. We try to describe how it operates with our laws and our theories. That's all there is to it. And, in fact, on your view of the universe, those laws can be dropped at the drop of a hat, on a whim. That's what miracles are, aren't they?
the laws of the universe, gravity, for example. And then after law, you have fact, which is the strongest scientific level you can get.
Wrong again. See, that's not how it operates at all. Facts just are. They're not scientific principles, they're just what is. The strongest scientific level you can attain is theory, because that's the overarching framework that deals with a class of facts. The theories explain the facts. Please try to get this into your head. I know it's hard, but, you know, put some effort in.
For example, a fact would be a circle is a circle. That's a fact. You can't argue against that. It is 100% definite.
Finally, you've said something I agree with. Yes, a circle is a circle, and that's a fact. However, it isn't an empirical fact. It isn't a scientific fact. Circles only have a platonic existence. They don't exist in reality. That means that this is a definitional fact. We define a circle as a circle.
So evolution is just a theory. It's down the bottom. A collection of myths and ideas is what it is.
No, evolution is a fact. It's been observed occurring. The theory of evolution is an attempt to explain that fact. Incidentally, the theory of evolution is not the Big Bang. This video is supposed to be about you debunking the Big Bang. And interestingly, I note you haven't done any of that as yet. Will we get any at all at any point?
So now that we've established the difference between a fact, a law, and a theory, we need to move on and start talking about the Big Bang and how it is impossible.
Ah, at last.
The Big Bang is impossible because it was basically an expansion of matter, time, and energy, right?
Thank you for playing. The Big Bang wasn't an expansion of matter, time, and energy at all. It was an expansion of space-time. There was no matter, there was energy, but then matter is just energy bounded. Interestingly. Even so, you've got it all arseways up, just for a change.
But the Big Bang Theory contradicts the laws of entropy and the laws of conservation. The laws of entropy says that everything breaks down.
It doesn't at all say that everything will break down. What you're doing here is the usual cretinous misunderstanding of entropy, which states that entropy is disorder. It isn't. Entropy is actually a measure of energy. And a measure of energetic processes. What it actually does in the most basic form is it talks about how much energy is unavailable in a system for doing work. Now it's something that's most readily associated with disorder, because to get something ordered from disorder requires the input of energy. Only thing is with your misunderstanding of entropy is that you're overlooking what is the most highly entropic entity in the universe, which is a black hole. Interestingly, black hole is also one of the most highly ordered entities in the universe, because all the matter is contained at the singularity. It doesn't come much more highly ordered than that. You might want to go back and look at that law of entropy again and see if you actually understand anything about it. Oh, and don't forget what I was saying earlier on about the second law of thermodynamics being an experimental law. Some have actually suggested that it might just be a feature of our coarse graining of the universe, and that on macroscopic scales it kind of evens out, but down at the quantum level it could be an entirely different picture.
Let's say I have an apple. If I leave this apple on my hand, for 2 weeks, for example, that apple would begin to rot, and it would...
And yet, interestingly, if you leave the apple on the tree, it lasts a lot longer than 2 weeks without rotting. In fact, it grows and ripens and becomes lush. Why is that, I wonder? Could it possibly be something to do with the input of energy?
Of matter and energy? No, matter and energy can only be transferred. It can't be created or destroyed. That's what the laws of conservation say.
Actually, I've got to give you some credit there, because that's not a bad stab at stating the law of conservation. You're absolutely correct. Energy can't be created or destroyed. Interestingly, Big Bang Theory has nothing to say about that, because the Big Bang Theory only goes back as far as the Planck time, which is 10 to the power of minus 43 seconds after the bang. Interesting that, isn't it? However, we do have certain models on the table that deal with how this energy was input in the first place. There's obviously the Turkenstein-Hart Brane-worlds model, which provides quite a parsimonious explanation, in fact, for how the energy was input into the system in the first place. There's also Alan Guth's cyclical model, which works pretty well in a lot of respects, not least because it goes some way towards solving the flatness problem and the horizon problem. Interestingly, the only ex nihilo creation of energy for the creation of the universe is yours. Bit of a problem, that. So what we're actually saying is that your God is a violation of the law of conservation. How's that work then? More in part 2.